precious time to work with certain committees, including the Public Accounts Committee. I know the Security and Intelligence Agency committees. I also know that the Constitutional, Legal, and Parliamentary Affairs committees and others were all busy working on bills that were referred to them during the recess. I want to welcome all our staff who have always supported us to succeed as a parliament, and to assure them that we will work together and ensure that this meeting is an action-packed meeting. This meeting is a successful meeting, and this meeting achieves a lot for the people of Ghana. I thank you very much, and I welcome all of you.
Thank you. Thank you, leaders. Yes, Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, with respect, my colleague, the Majority Leader, forgot to welcome Honorable Member for Pandai back into the chamber. I wanted to draw his attention.
Honorable Minority Leader, you are completely out of order. Honorable members, let's go to item numbered 4. Message from His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana. Honorable members, it reads, Right Honorable Speaker, absence from Ghana. In accordance with Article 59 of the 1992 Constitution of the Republic of Ghana, I write to formally notify you of my intention to travel to London, United Kingdom, on Sunday, 11th January 2026. I am expected to return to Ghana on Friday, 23rd January 2026. In my absence, the Vice President, Professor Nana Jenupoku Ajimai, shall perform my functions in accordance with Article 68 of the Constitution. Signed, John Dramani Mahama. Addressed to the Right Honorable Speaker, Office of Parliament, Parliament House, Ghana. Honorable members, though the President has returned, the formal communication has been brought to Parliament, and it must be read and captured by the Hansard. Honorable members, we then proceed to take the correction of votes and proceedings and official reports. Honorable members, I have in my hand the vote and proceedings of Friday, 19th December 2025 for correction, page 1. Page 2. Page 3. Page 4. Page 5. Page 6. Page 7. Page 8. Page 9. Page 10. Page 11. Page 12. Page 13. Page 14. Page 15. Page 16. Page 17. Page 18. 19. 20. 21. 22. 23. 24. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, page 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, and 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, and 61. Now, members, in the absence of any correction, the vote and proceedings of Friday, 19 December 2025 is hereby adopted as the true record of proceedings. Honourable members, the official report of 18th December 2025 under correction. Honourable members, any correction? Yes. Honourable Roxanne Nelson, Kwame Eche Dafamoko.
Speaker, thank you. Speaker, may I take the House to page 7, column 1, page 7, line 4. That'll be line 4. The comment under my name. The word should be the outstanding matters that were raised. Page 7. The outstanding matters that were raised. Not was raised. And then, again, under the same column, paragraph 5. Again, the comment under my name. Line 5. The Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs may do this on his behalf. May do this on his behalf. Then, Mr. Speaker, page 11, column 1, page 11, paragraph 3. Mr. Speaker, I'm guided. May we then move to item number 10. Mr. Speaker, I believe that will be all. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Honourable Member. Any further correction? Honourable members, in the absence of any further corrections, the official report of Thursday, 18th December 2025, as corrected, is hereby adopted as the true record of proceedings. Honourable members, let's move to statement. Item numbered 8. Honourable members, I have a statement, more or less a tribute in memory of the late Honourable Nazar Ture Mahama, to be taken by Honourable Jaja. Honourable, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, with your leave, I read a tribute statement of the late colleague of ours, Honourable Alhaji Nazar Ture Mahama. Mr. Speaker, Honourable Alhaji Nazar Ture Mahama was a distinguished businessman, political leader, devoted family man, and committed servant of the people of Ayawaso East. His life was marked by excellence, humility, discipline, and unwavering dedication to public service. From the boardroom to Parliament, and from his constituency to his home, he lived a life of purpose and impact, quietly shaping communities, institutions, and lives for decades. Honorable Ture hailed from Kwi a community in the northern region of Ghana, but was born on Wednesday, 17th March 1965 in Nima 441. He was raised within the rich cultural and moral framework Ghanaian values, hospitality, integrity, leadership, and communal responsibility. These formative influences shaped the strong character that will later define his political and business leadership. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Toure began his basic education at Kanda 1 and 2 Primary School and later proceeded to West African Senior Secondary School, what we call WAS, in Accra. With a strong desire to broaden his horizon, he traveled extensively to Syria, Jordan, and Japan, gaining valuable work experiences that shaped his worldview, discipline, and commitment to service. After years abroad, he returned to Ghana in the year 2000 and soon aligned with the developmental vision of the National Democratic Congress, NDC. In the year 2006, he began active service in the party, earning the trust of members and community leaders through dedication, humility, and hard work. His unwavering commitment to the betterment of his people led to his election to Parliament in the year 2012. He entered into this House in the Safe Parliament 7th January 2013, where he represented his constituency with excellence, the good people of Ayawaso East. He was a devoted Muslim throughout his life, guided by the principle of faith, service, compassion, and humility. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Nasser Toure believed deeply in lifelong learning. Despite his early successes in business and leadership, he continued to invest in his education and professional development with academic institutions like London Center of Management, Zone Investment Ghana, International University of the United States, Center of Energy, Petroleum and Mineral Law and Policy, and in Boston, USA. This academic pursuit laid the foundation for his remarkable competence, particularly in the energy and petroleum sector. Areas that later influenced significantly both in Parliament and in private enterprise. Before enduring his political career, Honorable Nasser Toure distinguished himself as an astute businessman. He was the managing director of the Aminasa Group of Companies, a thriving company he nurtured into a respected national brand. Under his stewardship, the group grew into a multifaceted business empire with a strong community impact. The major companies under the group include Aminasa Oil and Gas Company Limited, Aminasa Mats, Aminasa Construction, Aminasa Forest Bureau, and OTA Forex Bureau. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Toure was more than a managing director. He was a visionary leader who held policy, empowered staff, created employment, supported young entrepreneurs, and demonstrated measurable excellence in Ghana's private sector landscape. His passion for community growth, fairness, and national development led him into politics. He became a dedicated member of the National Democratic Congress, serving his party and constituency with passion and humility. In 2012, he was elected as the Member of Parliament for Ayawaso East constituency in Accra, a passion he held with honorable distinction for 4 consecutive terms, serving until his demise in the year January 2026. Mr. Speaker, doting on a number of committees until he private members' bill and private members' motion, he served on the Judicial Committee and many others. Mr. Speaker, he also served principled and thoughtful popularity. deep knowledge in the petroleum regulation, upstream negotiation, and the energy sector management. Honorable Nasser Toure served the people of Ayawaso East with extraordinary dedication. He was fatherly, approachable, generous, and available to all. He provided education support and scholarship, offered job opportunities through his business, and immensely supported community organizations and youth groups. His constituents, traffic upgrades, parliamentary roles and influence, health, and many others. Mr. Speaker, was a revered family, a devoted family man. Honorable Mahama was married to his beloved wife, Ajia Amina Adam Maknaza, for over 25 years now. The home was one filled with love, mutual respect, and partnership. He was blessed with a son and a daughter, and again, one adopted daughter. As a father, he was caring, present, loving, and protective. His children remember him as their guide, teacher, provider, and a hero. Honorable Nasser Toure, 4th January 2026. And impact remain deeply, and colleagues over here in Parliament. Honorable Nasser Toure lived a life worth celebrating, a beacon of leadership, with some 2 verses from the Quran. Quran chapter 20 verse 55, saying, Minha halaknakum, wa fiha nu'idukum, wa minha nukhrijukum taratan ukhra. To which, Mr. The earth we will return you, and from it, the earth we will extract you another day. That is Quran chapter 20 verse 55. Mr. Speaker, permit me to quote the last verse, coming from Quran chapter 2 verse 156, which says, Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Again, to which, Mr. Speaker, Allah says, indeed, to him Allah will belong, and to him shall we return. With this, Mr. Speaker, Firdaus, may the good. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
It is now for comment. I give the floor to Honorable Emmanuel Kwesi Bejra.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to commend my brother, the Deputy Minister for Tourism and Creative Art, Honorable Jaja, for this tribute on behalf of all of us, and for our honorable colleague, my immediate past Vice Chair of Energy Committee, Mahama, met us in this house. When in the 9th Parliament, I was asked to chair the Energy Committee. And Mr. Speaker, and his duty. Little did we know that that was the last duty, or official duty, he will be performing on this floor. Mr. Speaker, just as my colleague has mentioned, Honorable Nasser Toure is a calm personality. Anytime we go for meeting and we needed some understanding in depth, he's the one we rely on, be a member of that committee for 4 consecutive periods in the House. Mr. Speaker, we have lost a gem. We have lost someone who has knowledge in the field of petroleum and power. On the 4th of January, Sunday, I was driving to church when I heard the news that your vice chairman has passed on. Then quickly I made 2 calls and it was confirmed. I was really shocked because even though our colleague was not in the best health situation, anytime we have committee meetings, even outside, at the peril of his own life, He travels with us, and you see him traveling back to Accra and then returning to committee meetings or even our rounds when we are visiting some installations under our committee. He's one person who you will not find him being angry. Sometimes at provocation from our other colleagues, you just say, Honorable Chairman, calm down. This thing we have done it before, and we'll do it again. Honorable Chairman, calm down, calm down. Don't mind them. We've done this thing before. That's the person we have lost. We can only say, may his soul rest in peace. And we pray that his family will take solace in the fact that he has performed his duty and he has received a higher calling to perform there. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
Yes, Honorable Matthew Nyindam.
Mr. Speaker, I am traveling out of town, and this is an important tribute that I want to really comment on. So if you give me the opportunity, so I can leave. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, that my respected brother is no more with us. But one thing I need to put across is that when we come into this chamber with our party colors hanging around our neck, we make best friends across the aisle. A team. We bonded. He will come home, we will eat together. I'll go to his house, we'll eat together. Haja will cook and say, leader, come and eat. Mr. Speaker, the only time that Honorable Nazar will not pick my call, especially when I became a majority leader, was when I found myself in crisis and I needed him. And after operations, he will pick my call and say, leader, this one, forgive me. Oh. And I said, I understand. Mr. Speaker, he kept talking about his daughter, a very beautiful, hard-working daughter. And I kept talking where he had admitted them for their medical education. As if your son also made it. We are trying to. It was only, Mr. Speaker, when we traveled out of town, we met, and here we were. The kids have met. I'm unable to visit, and vice versa. But I wasn't learned and have a joint. That unfortunate is gone. How? Very sad. Mr. Speaker, I've never been to a cemetery since I became an adult. But I said on this occasion, he is a true brother. And for me, there's nothing like friendship. You must honor it to the casket, even at the peril of your life. Friendship, a true friend, is difficult to find. So, Mr. Speaker, I went to the Medina Cemetery where my brother had been brought for final rites, and I made sure I touched him and helped lower him into his grave with honor. Let me thank the family members for allowing me the opportunity to be part of that last rite of honor. I felt satisfied because he was a true brother who shared with me the relevant code of life. The Speaker, that said, it's very demanding. Let's find time to do our checkups. Let's find time to exercise. Don't let us underestimate the work we do. Mr. Speaker, 2 years or so ago, I was part of colleagues who went for a training program in the United States, met some senators. And when we shared experiences, we realized that those of us from this part of the world take political leadership for granted. One senator said he had a psychic advisor. All these are specialists that he pays them to assist him because the workload is not easy. Your mental health. Constituents are coming to you for money. Constituents are coming to you for everything. You need to prepare yourself for this chamber. Sometimes the money is not even there. Mr. Speaker, there have been times that I've gone to Winneba, shared money, and on my way back, my driver had told me that, Chief, fuel no akofum. He also read. A lot of sad stories that my colleagues here know we go through. So I will beg of all of us, we have a family to live for. Let us not assume that this political engagement is take care of them so that we'll be effective in this chamber. Because the law is clear, very mandatory, if you are not and all. So, Mr. Speaker, that said, may the gentle soul of our brother rest in perfect peace. He was such a great soul, very loving, caring, affable, easy of address. The friendship was strong.
I will then give the floor to Deputy Minister.
Let me first of all thank the Deputy Minister for Tourism who read this very important tribute. And let me also thank my senior colleagues who have already said very good things about our brother, Honorable Alhaji Naza Ture Mahama. Indeed, for me as a Muslim, I want to bear witness to the good things that he's done as a Muslim. I am the chairman of the Muslim caucus, and so it is imperative for me to bear witness. I want to make reference to the Holy Quran, chapter 2, verse 155 to 156, which says that والله يبلغكم من شيء من الألف والجوع وننكس من الأموال والأنفس والثمرات وبصر الصابرين الذين إذا حسبتهم مصيبة certainly shall test you with anger, with loss of fruits, with loss of lives, and with loss of so many things. But we expect that you should endure when we test you if you are a Muslim. And you should also know that it is from me, Allah, that you have come from, and it is to me that you will return. Again, the Quran says that every soul shall taste death. And so we were not surprised when our brother had his arrival. And so for us as Muslims, we know it can come at any time. And if it has come and he's gone, we can only praise Allah for giving him to us and for making him use his life to serve his people the way he did. Right, Honorable Speaker, I said to myself and to all of us that I am here to bear witness to what he's done as a Muslim. I can testify that Honorable Naza has fulfilled all the 5 pillars of Islam. He has said what we call the kalima, believing that there's none to worship but Allah. And I can bear witness to that. Every Friday to pray. Sometimes by the time you get there, he's already seated there. Sometimes when you are leaving, he also seated there supplicating. And so we want to bear witness that he fulfilled that other pillar of Islam. Again, when it comes to the payment of what we call zakat, we can also bear witness. He has also performed Hajj several times. And I remember last year or so, I was on the same flight, and he had to return back to this country. It tells you how committed he was to his religion, how committed he was to the person we're talking about. And so for me, Inshallah, our colleague should be in paradise. Inshallah. Again, his contribution to the Muslim caucus. He served on several committees at that level. Anytime there was a meeting, issues that came up at our meetings, and my colleagues here would bear me witness how calm he was in addressing those issues. And so, today, if we have lost him, we can only praise Allah. Because, praise God, and I can assure you, we pray. Also share our condolences. We will replace. I want to thank my uncle later. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, myself and Alaji came to the chamber the same day. And when we all walked in, I didn't know him. So I was his MP. And he told me his roots in Pandai. And then it was the conflict, the 1992 conflict, that brought him back to Accra. And since then, he's never gone back to Pandai. He spoke to me as a brother. Mr. Speaker, although we are all politicians and we all belong to political parties, Alaji will not speak much, but Alaji made a lot of wisdom. He's very calm, very gentle, very affable. Mr. Speaker, for death, just like we all will say about you, is so important. No more, Mr. Speaker, to accompany Alaji are going to the cemetery, and it's something I appreciate a lot. I appreciate a lot. Although Alaji is not with us, I don't know the family. Although Alaji is not with us, I don't know the family personally. I wish and pray that the good Lord will be with them, and may the good Lord give him.
Yeah. Tribute that being the items that what today. So, as of a report is out today. So, as of a report is out to talk about an issue of this nature. I was out there at the people taking their blood pressure and observing what is happening there. I would like to plead with you that we try and then wrap up and not help people rest for the day. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Leader, the time for sitting is 5 hours. Have we exceeded the 5 hours?
Speaker, indeed we haven't. But Speaker, let the record reflect that it was agreed that we'll take this statement because it was about a colleague.
Well, it's not a matter of sitting hours. It's 5 is that we can talk about extension of the sitting.
I agree.
But today we started after 2 o'clock or getting to 5 hours.
Mr. Speaker, well guided.
Yes.
But I would like business of the day to a certain point. We should try and adhere to it. Thank you.
Yes, this takes me to other 5 hours. We can all look at it. So if at pre-sitting you've agreed on something, Majority Leader, has there been a decision at pre-sitting that will sit below the 5 hours as prescribed by Order 55.3?
No, Mr. Speaker. Who were there at pre-sitting? No. I wasn't there, so I'm not bound by anything. You leave early. This is the first day. You've been on recess for a very long time now. You've been resting throughout. The first day you come and you are eager to leave. Or you spend your time campaigning, engaging in presidential primaries. You should have known that there's parliament also.
Well, honourable members, let's conclude it by
let's conclude, yeah.
taking
comments, yeah.
Let's take two more comments.
Honourable
Two more comments, yeah.
Hajia Ladi Ayamba.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to contribute to the tribute statement ably made by my colleague, Honorable Jaja. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Alhaji Nazar Toure was one of the individuals whom one can refer to and reflect about, who spoke very I had made about him. Hajia Yade, Hajia, how are you? Honorable Nazar Toure was always present. Mr. Speaker, I recall during one of our fasting seasons, wanted to just some water. He said, Hajia, Gida, I matanaza takawa abinchi. To wait, Hajia, please wait. My wife is going to bring some food. And we were surprised. More than enough was given. She brought the food. We sat together. And it was so nice. Honorable Nazar Toure never ever raised his voice and will ensure that he speaks calmly no matter what was being discussed. It has been said, and as my colleagues have mentioned, I haven't been to an Arabic school and season, much as we do not know when it was. At the time, the Almighty Allah didn't know. And He alone, the Almighty Allah, has also stated clearly, Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. From Him, each and every one of us have come from, and to Him, there is no place, how, when, or anybody. It is a lesson for all of us. Let us believe that as we hear, as we see, as we observe, others pass. So is it incumbent on us that one day, no matter what, whether you are ready or not, you will also pass. The only prayer we have, so is it that once our brother, Honorable Nazar Toure, Jannatul Firdaus, and that prosperity, and that one day, when it is our turn, we shall also go. Now, thank you for
Yes, Honorable Niashi Kote. And then I'll come to leadership.
Thank you. I want to take the opportunity to thank my big brother, the Honorable Deputy Minister, and I also want to add my voice to say that may the soul of Honorable Nazar Toure Mahama rest well in the bosom of Allah. As I entered Parliament, I remember how he met me, stretched forth his arms and welcomed me and said, "Gentlemen, you are welcome to Parliament." He shared how he observed, how he said, "You are such a strong young man. Meanwhile, I know I am quite calm and reserved and all that." But Mr. Speaker, getting to know him well, even though people had said that I was too calm for a constituency like Ododo, I said no. For a man presiding over a constituency for that, he will call me, he will advise, as you are here, you don't have to do this, you don't have to do that, this is the way to go. And I saw he was very approachable. I will confer with him. He will share with me and guide me as to the way to go. The news, obviously, of his death became shocking to all of us. I recall when the call came, I said, no, it can't be true. Then I started calling honorable colleagues. Disabled, I couldn't move. We have lost a calm but a gentleman. We have lost a man with a wealth of knowledge and experience, just as have been praised. We take solace in the fact that his legacy will speak well of him. I wish the family, especially the wife and daughter, my deepest condolences. And on behalf of the Greater Accra MP's caucus, we say, Inshallah, he should indeed be in paradise. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Is to contribute to this man who lived and died, said all the world is a stage and all the men and women merely players. But a man in his life plays many parts. And in the life of Honorable Mahama Toure, he played many parts, represented his people, committed himself to their service and to God's service. Mr. Speaker, I interacted with him severally, and especially when we served in the same committee. And as a member of the Energy Committee at the time, we worked very closely together. He did so much that I believe his family would lose him a lot. And their lives, and for the huge loss in their lives. Mr. Speaker, one thing I learned from him is that no matter who you are, continue to be humble. I have a symbolic representation in that aspect in my own life. But in the life of Mohamed Toure, he showed that in his wealth, he was still himself. In his endeavor as a politician, he was still himself. He lived a life that a man who rises to see what he has done can only salute him. And represented here. And this has passed on. One of the greatest who passed on was Alexander the Great, a man who ruled almost all the world, and before he got to 40 years, he died. And so his death is another reminder that as we all are here, we are marching toward the oblivious of this world. We will die, and our deaths will be forgotten by a future generation. It tells us that what will be in every member of his constituency you met would still tell you they wanted him to contest the elections. I've interacted with condolences to all of them, the constituents, his father, his wife, his kids, and everybody who thinks so much about him and who has been touched by his exit of this world. May his great soul rest in perfect peace. Amen.
Yes, minority leadership. Further contribution from the minority side. I'll give the floor to Honorable Doyo, being that of the majority leadership.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. I would like to thank Honorable Jaja, the Deputy Minister of Tourism, for this statement. Mr. Speaker, it is with deep sadness that we say goodbye to a wonderful colleague and team. Honorable Nilan Toure and myself, as along the line, and our caucus chairman, Mr. Speaker, you can't take it away from anytime because it's a different person altogether. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Nazar, little did I know he will pass away. We were here before we went on recess. And before then, I could remember when he wanted to be the chairman of the energy committee and he couldn't get it. And we said, oh, you will get a board, so and we said, oh, you will get a board, so it shouldn't be a big deal. So no problem. It shouldn't be a big deal. So no problem. But Honorable Doyo, I would like that. But Honorable Doyo, I would like that board to everything to go to her no more. And I didn't know. Received the news with shock. News with shock. That day, I started running because he also consult him. Mr. Speaker, when so don't worry. Vacuum. I will take the opportunity to console the wife, the family, and the children. I now understand why he keep telling me that if anything, push it to my wife. And now understand why he keep telling me. And I said, why? He said, no, just give it to my wife. Not knowing he knows what is going to happen and of the family and give everything to the wife. To then console the wife. Recess. So we couldn't do the needful. So now before we will go to the house and do the needful and meet us in.
Honourable members, statement time has ended.
So, Speaker, I want to crave your indulgence so that we'll take motion number 12. That's the Legal Education Reform Bill. So if we could just take that, would have been taken today.
We look at the item number. Yes. Members at commencement of public business.
Right Honourable Speaker had indicated that in honor of our colleague, then we'll...
Reminder. In the bosom of the Almighty Allah. Number 9B.
First,
Report of the committee. Yes.
Speaker, I did not hear you.
Yes.
12. So the AG is here.
Yes, Speaker, we are not opposed to it.
Honourable members, item numbered 11, Attorney General and Minister for Justice.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I beg to move that notwithstanding the provision in Order 1041 of the standing orders which requires that a motion shall not be motion for the second reading of the legal.
Honourable members,
Mr. Speaker
of the House. At page 3 of today's order paper, say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. The motion is carried. Now the substantive motion numbered 12, standing in the name of the Attorney General.
Mr. Speaker, we will now take motion number 12.
Yes, that is why I said the substantive motion, standing in the name of.
Indicated this to the ranking, because I'm sure he would have loved to contribute on this very important motion. I don't know if he's aware, because I mean, this obviously came at our blind side, but we also do not want to drag. So my only wish is that if we could just engage and perhaps have it scheduled for tomorrow, it's just tomorrow, so that you would have your members, committee members also debate on it. That's just my objective.
Mr. Speaker, at business committee meeting, I did indicate strongly that today we will take the legal education reform bill, and the report, and my counterpart agreed that we should put him in one of the corridors earlier on. So we need to move fast. This is really the problem, that we come and then, the day we are going to rise, then we'll be forcing people to stay here till midnight. I don't want to. In fact, in the opening statement, we indicated that we're not going to adopt that approach. We're going to the second reading and then the committee's report, so that later on.
Mr. Speaker, I have indicated my difficulty, but as you can see, they have the numbers, so if they still want to proceed, there is no objection on this matter. I thought that for the around, I would have even felt more comfortable. The lawyer, we've even elapsed. Yes, I agree. We looked at item number 11, so we have considered that it should be elapsed. The time should be elapsed. But if time has been elapsed and we still want to proceed, it's okay. I mean, like I said, the normal thing is that you engage your ranking. But if you can say on record that you have engaged your ranking, that is okay.
Yes, Attorney General and Minister for Justice.
Right Honorable Speaker, I move that the legal education
Motion moved. I will call on the chairman of the committee to present.
Really grateful, right?
I call on you.
And I shall be very, your good self asked this committee, in accordance with Article 106.4 of the Constitution and Order 238 of the Standing Orders of Parliament, the Honorable Minister for Justice and Attorney General, the Honorable Dominic Akrutinga Ayene, on Friday, 24th of October, laid this report. Mr. Speaker, your committee deliberated on it. We invited a number of people, including institutions. Indeed, Mr. Speaker, the heads of various faculties of law in all the universities and training department to capture the entire report while I look at the critical areas. Legal education.
Honorable Chairman, the critical areas has been captured. In conclusion,
by saying that the committee having examined and satisfied itself with the fact that access to Mr. Speaker, many years ago, you walked into the law school from faculty. Mr. Speaker, this bill seeks to open up legal education. Speaker, we recommend the passage of Legal Education Reform Bill 2025, subject to the proposed amendments. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
honourable members, the motion has pursuant to Standing Order 1 through 7. A full debate shall arise on the principles of the bill on the basis of the explanatory memorandum and the report of the committee. Honourable members, accordingly, the floor is now open. Yes, Honourable Emmanuel Kwesi Bajra, MP for Ho West.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to also support the motion and also support this report. The principle behind the creation of the Legal Education Bill 2025. Mr. Speaker, for those of us who are not non-lawyers, who are desirous to become lawyers, Mr. Speaker, have this fear that after you've done even your PhD, you have to go back to the university to do your first degree, 3 years in law, after which you'll be admitted at Mokola, the so-called Mokola School of Law. And even that one, it is tedious. And so, majority of us who want to be lawyers are not able to penetrate into that legal, people. And that if you do not belong to that group, you can never become lawyers. Mr. Speaker, for me, the report, the object of this bill states clearly, Mr. Speaker, if you permit me, paragraph 5, education in Ghana, and provide a curriculum and standard for legal education. To achieve this objective, the bill proposed to move professional legal education and training from Ghana School of Law, known as Mokola, accredited universities. Mr. Speaker, this is a novel. It's a novel because, for me as a quantity surveyor, you are trained either at the technical universities, any of the technical universities, in a specified field, and then you write your professional exam. It is only in legal education that you have to go to Mokola, and if you don't qualify, because of that, we are KJTR lawyers who want to become Mokola lawyer.
Who is a KJTR lawyer?
Mr. Speaker, you watch the movie on Ghana.
We are debating the explanatory memorandum and the report of the committee.
And so, Mr. Speaker, this is to be given opportunity, ask all my colleagues to vote for this bill. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Bajra. Yes, Honorable Member.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to contribute to the report currently before the House on the reforms to our legal education in Ghana. Mr. Speaker, as a young lawyer, I would say that these reforms are late in coming. Mr. Speaker, some of us went through the system of legal education at the time that we can say the system was choked. Mr. Speaker, legal education should be open to coming a full-fledged legal awareness, and to the extent that it is imperative that as a society we become aware of the laws around us, there is every need for us to expand the scope of our legal education to give more opportunity to even. Mr. Speaker, until recently, the northern part of the country was never given the opportunity. I wish to commend them, and I call on all and sundry country. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Mie.
I'm grateful, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to contribute towards the subject matter. Mr. Speaker, I would also say that this bill is long overdue. When the system was different. The only university offering law at the time was the University of Ghana, which would admit by fire of law and some. Over the years, to the extent that the legal profession has been in the news lately for not so number of students that wrote the exam. The entry exam, 72% failed. In 20 failed in legal education for the fact that it is going to, I hope, in some of our neighboring countries. You go to some of these places and everybody you meet tells you he has an LLB. For all persons who intend to read law, to go through the process, not to go through a rigorous process of writing examinations and attending interviews. It is a good idea. It is only the universities that meet a certain criteria, which has been specified in the bill, that would be allowed to run programs of that nature, which would also help us churn out quality lawyers, even though the volumes are going to be that our economy, our system, and this government, including successive governments, would put in going to produce. During our consideration of the bill, I raised an issue in there are woefully inadequate. You take the AMA, for instance, take the Kumasi Metropolitan Authority or Assembly, also for instance. Sometimes you have as little as 2 lawyers in there. I hope that all these would be taken into consideration so that this wonderful bill we have today, at the end of the day, does not become one that would worsen our problems. Mr. Speaker, I am very grateful.
Thank you so much, honorable members. We now give the floor to Honorable, is it Walasi? Yes. Honorable Kweli.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity to add my voice to the report of the committee, and so doing, would I faithfully stand behind the legal education bill to say it's in the right direction. Mr. Speaker, from all the speakers who rose before me, it remains a fact who acquired even my earlier legal education not in Ghana, have had some practice experiences outside Ghana. We have come to realize that the world has evolved beyond the static legal education that our common law fathers presented to us, may I say, the thereof, the thereafter, which had been handed over to us, for which even a lawyer-to-client ratio we have been unable to meet. This is not surprising that you go to court and your clients do not understand the basic legal principles for which they should answer you, a lawyer, for you to make reference to in arguing out your case. That is not a good society within the context of law. At least when the ratio of legal education, which means the ratio of lawyers in a particular society, and which means if we lack that ratio, by the fact that there are impediments in the way of more people acquiring legal knowledge, then we will lack that basic understanding as a country to move on in the process of our legal uprightness. Mr. Speaker, basically, education is about acquiring some knowledge and not a business in its entirety, limited to a class or a people, a family, or a kind of cult. And that is the worrying situation. And that is where you see the complaints about students who have gone through LLB, which is the principles of law itself, but are unable to just run through the procedures of applying those principles. And that is the almighty Makola. In a bar association is where the professionals have their way of admitting those who want to practice with them. And if the law alone have not been straightened out as a student, that some of the Attorney General and the committee as well have noticed all this and have come out with this report and have opened out the access that we can argue out our point and make the recommended amendments to the bill so that our country, Ghana, can also open its doors and as people can access knowledge in legal education. And when they want to practice, they can join the professional association as well. Thank you for the opportunity.
It's now the turn of...
I really want to add my voice. I must say that all that quality legal belief to the psychological trauma, Makola, Mr. Speaker, which in fraternity, Mr. Speaker, it has been captured in the report as has been captured in the report, brilliant and professional ideas were sought. In fact, we had technical brains join the committee in deliberating such a bill. Mr. Speaker, let me step in coming out with this bill. Has also had its bite in the reset agenda to restore confidence statutory framework. Mr. Speaker, anything to do with to provide quality and equity practice education without any favor and also institutions. Mr. Speaker, I'm so grateful.
I will then give the floor to Honorable Jameson.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. And Mr. Speaker, let me also add my voice to support the adoption of the report of the Committee on Constitutional and Legal Affairs on the Legal Education Bill 2025. Mr. Speaker, the current law that regulates legal education now is Act 32 of 1960. So right from the word go, you can easily see that the law has outlived its usefulness, looking at the fact that it's been on for the past about even more than 60 years. Mr. Speaker, two things are very striking. If you look at our illegal education now, we had challenges with access, and we also had challenges with quality. Now, one of the main purposes of this bill is to ensure that we are able to increase access, and we are also able to improve quality. So the bill seeks to establish the Council for Legal Education and Training that will be responsible for legal training in the country. And I think this is a very, very good step because it takes over something similar to the American system. Because prior to this, we have a situation where power, when it comes to regulation of legal education and regulation of legal profession, was concentrated in the General Legal Council. But now we are going to break this monopoly of the General Legal Council to make sure that there is shared oversight responsibility. Mr. Speaker, I think that this is a very good step. So I pray that the House adopts this report accordingly. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Minority Leadership.
Mr. Speaker, I would have wished to peruse this report critically before making some comments. I think that legal education, there is the need for reforms, but there is also no need to rush the report, like I indicated earlier. So I'd rather waive any commentaries on this. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Before coming to the leader, I want to give the floor to Honorable Vundi. It's not in the chamber. Yes, Honorable Roxanne Nelson. You are not on the list.
Yes, leadership, Mr. Speaker, before the minister comes in.
So you are speaking for leadership?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you said you. No. Okay.
So the two of you.
Mr. Speaker, then I rise on my own merits.
Klein.
Mr. Speaker, it's a special appeal.
You have the floor.
Special appeal.
You have the floor.
We'll take Jerry's time.
You have the floor. In view of the fact that Jerry decided not to come.
Great. Mr. Speaker, let me indicate that law is a tool for social engineering, and it's become important that we do this to respond to the current social concerns in the country. Speaker, for some time now, you and I will draw you into this. We waged this battle from about 2017, 2018, when news filtered through that there were some issues within the admission protocols of the Ghana School of Law, to the extent that our committee, which were deputy ranking at the time and later ranking, had to be engaged. This matter came here. We made interventions. Eventually, we succeeded in taking interview out of the process, so that if you write the exams and you succeeded, then you could gain admission. But another troubling event occurred, that to the extent that persons who didn't even write the exams at all got admitted, so much so that the General Legal Council itself saw it fit to set up a subcommittee. The disciplinary committee had to set up a subcommittee to look into this matter, and a report was generated. It was established that as many as 11 students or more got in through the back door. That phrase was what was captured in the report. So it generated a lot of debates to ask for reforms. And the current Attorney General, then the ranking member, I believe, we even got together to do a private members bill here. So, no. The exams will still be tough, the exams will still be stiff, but we are opening access. We are increasing the adequately prepared by your various faculties. So, Speaker, this is a major policy decision by the government, and I'm happy that the House is prepared to move to, when we adopt the report by the committee, we'll do consideration, deal with the issues, the many amendments that have been proposed, we'll deal with them. And so that we can eventually take it through the third reading and have it passed. Speaker, what is important is that in terms of quality, the faculties and the various schools, as they want to be called, enhance your faculty members. So they've instituted processes to enable those who don't have those minimum requisite qualifications to quickly do so. So it's a major reform. And Speaker, you'll be surprised to hear that some of the LLB holders that we produce here, who are denied by some limitations from gaining access to our only professional law school now, they travel to the Gambia, they top the class. Even if they don't top the class, they are among the upper quartile qualifying, picking the awards. They go to Rwanda, they pick awards. Sierra Leone, in those be entered onto the role of lawyers here, because you have to do what we call the post-call. The post-call is so expensive, and I don't know how come we expect that. So you may take the opportunity to go and train in the law outside. When you get back home, it's expensive to really do the post-call. And so it's become another avenue to sieving the ordinary person's opportunity from qualifying. So, Speaker, I won't say much, because the fights, the battles that we waged today, we are seeing is coming to fruition, and we are happy. So we want to say thank you to all the stakeholders, Speaker, including yourself. I know the things we went through, but we'll shepherd this, deal with the amendments, and have it passed so that the reforms can be implemented. We are not saying it's a foolproof system, but it will come with some challenges. We'll have the opportunity to tidy them up as we implement the new reform legislation. Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity. And this is well anchored in Article 25, Mr. Speaker, 25(1), D-E, thereabout of the Constitution. So it's well anchored in our constitutional provisions that we must create wider access, equitable access, equal opportunities for our educational opportunities that are available in this country. Speaker, with these words, I thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. Yes, Majority Leader.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Let me join colleagues to recommend to this House to adopt this report because year after year, the issue of access to, and this House received several petitions from association of students who had read that point, I recall, examination process with a view to introducing some level of accountability, fairness, and justice in the process. But whilst it dealt with the issues of accountability in the writing of the exams, the marking of the scripts, and the determination of results, it did not deal fundamentally with the question of access. That question was a function of the structure of the system. When we were students, we got into the law faculty automatically, not automatically, we got into the law faculty after sixth form. And at that time, there was only one law faculty in the whole country, the law faculty of the University of Ghana. So, all the sixth forms, the law faculty will take only 100 students. 100 students. Only 100 students for the first year. For the first year. To determine whether you will be a law student to graduate with LLB or not, you had to do well in first year university exams. If you did well in first year university exams, you were likely to fall among the first 60. And it is the first 60 who were offered the LLB degree, the course. The rest will be BA students, jurisprudence and etc. at the, those days we call it law school.
Leader, yours is better. In our case, 150 students, and at the end of the first university examination, they will admit 60, 90 must find their way outside the law faculty.
Yeah. So, at different stages, you will see that the mechanism for sieving took place at different levels. In the past, it was getting into the university itself. Once you got into the university law faculty and you managed to scale through first year, invariably, all those who scale through first year will end up at the Ghana School of Law. That was the practice. Then, later on, as we liberalized, private universities emerged, and they also started running law degree programs. And their products also wanted to go into Makola. And that is how, initially there was exams actually, for mature students, those who had degrees and were workers and wanted to go into Makola, yes, they wrote exams to come in. But then as the private universities started offering law degrees and there was pressure, that's how the system was open so that at least they could also participate in the exams in order to get into Makola Law School. And that is where we started having the problems. So what government has decided to propose to this House to consider is that since we have liberalized tertiary education and we have many private universities offering law degrees and they've been accredited to offer law degrees, then we cannot maintain a monopoly of the legal education program in the Ghana School of Law. We need to open up that monopoly. So all the other universities, if they meet the appropriate criteria and standards, they will also be accredited to run programs that will allow their products to automatically write the bar exams. So this is the greatest opportunity that could ever be offered. The only thing is that we must ensure that all those universities that offer law degrees maintain the requisite standards, because we don't also want, in the process of liberalizing, to allow standards to fall. So that is the major issue that in this legislation we must tighten to ensure that law faculties accredited to offer the program must maintain the standards. That way, every university that has a law faculty can have their products write the bar exams, and then if they pass, they will be called to the bar, enrolled. Let me indicate that we are not saying that many more people will pass the bar exams. And we're also not saying that it will lead to an automatic increase in the number of people to be enrolled every year. The only thing we are guaranteeing is that everybody who has a law degree from a university accredited to offer law will have an opportunity to also write the bar exams. That, I think, is what we are guaranteeing. The second issue of increasing the numbers is a function of the regulators. So we try as much as possible to look at how we can increase the numbers. If you look at the ratio of lawyers to the population, it is very, very, very high. In most jurisdictions, in America, in most European countries, in Canada, you have invariably a ratio of 1 lawyer to about 300 people in most jurisdictions. Here, the reports I'm getting is an indication that it is 1 lawyer to 2,000. In fact, some say 5,000. Some say 5,000 to 7,000. But I've also seen statistics that place it at, 2,000. But if you look at all those who have graduated, we don't know how many who have passed on. But if you look at the roll, you may use that. But the question is whether they are actually in the country. So yes, your statistics may indicate that, if you look at all those who have been qualified, and then you divide the population by that number, you may get 2,000. But the reality may be that there are many who are not in the jurisdiction. So the actual ratio could be 5,000, 7,000 to a lawyer. And so we need to also increase the numbers so that district assemblies, companies, corporations, traditional authorities can all have access to lawyers, because in all these places where there is some administration of justice, what happens invariably is that the absence of lawyers tend to delay proceedings and speedy, trials. And so we need to increase the numbers. So I recommend to colleagues that we should approve and adopt this report. Later on, when we go to consideration stage, we'll look at all the proposals and find ways of fine-tuning them to produce a legislation that will stand the test of time. We are not the first to do this. This has been the practice in the United States for a very long time. So it's not new. There shouldn't be fears by those in the profession. I have always said that maintaining professional standard is not just a function of the training program. Professional standards are even better maintained by the judges in the courtroom. Because when your teachers have finished with you, depending on how you pass exams, there are many of us who will wait, and the day before will commit everything to memory, go, pass, and the following morning we forget. So depending on that, you will maintain standards. It gets the practicing lawyers to sit up, do the right thing, and then the standards will improve. And then the Bar Association also, making sure that law firms are well organized, so that in law firms you will have seniors who will have time to tutor and train the younger ones so that they will improve their performance in the profession. So it's a lifelong thing, starting from the training in school to training in the courtroom and training in the law firm and at the bar. So if you just focus on education alone and fear that standards will fall because you are opening the floodgates in terms of access to writing the exams, I don't think that would be a fair analysis. Even in America where they are doing it, there's no indication that professional standards are low. So I urge colleagues to adopt the report, and I want to commend the minister for bringing this bill to Parliament. This is a major promise of the NDC government. The NDC government has promised all those holding degrees in law that we will create a fair and equitable platform that will give them access to being called to the bar. And we are living up to our promises and our commitments. And that is why this bill is here. And I want to assure the students out there that we will do whatever it takes within this meeting of this Parliament to have this legislation enacted into law. I thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, before putting the question and to avoid taking part in the debate, some of us have suffered a lot and can only say this bill is coming at the right time. Honourable members, there are instances where in the budget it will be indicated the number of students that will be enrolled into the Ghana School of Law, and at the same time they will budget the number of students that will fail. So sitting at the middle of the third row, we have difficulty. Because if you say you'll be admitting 200 students, but out of the 200 students, 100 will be called to the bar before the examination, you are telling me 100 will fail. So we had our own challenges, and I believed this is the way to address the issue. With this, I'll put a question. AG, you want to conclude?
Right, Honourable Speaker, I want to take constitutional and legal affairs on this bill. And for all the commendations, I was very happy that my colleague, the Honourable, and this is because the bill, as the Honourable Majority Leader has pointed out, it accords with the letter and spirit of the Constitution in Article 25 to create equality of opportunity for every one of our citizens desirous of becoming lawyers. The Honourable Majority Leader has described how strenuous it was for people to become lawyers in the past. But though it was a very strenuous system, it also guaranteed automatic entry to the law school if you were qualified enough, monopoly of the Ghana School, for even students who graduated with first class from very reputable universities to get into the Ghana School of Law. So, Mr. Speaker, the innovations introduced by this bill are very clear for everyone to see. We are introducing an accreditation program that will make sure that it is not every mushroom LLB school that will produce lawyers who will go on to write the bar exam. There will be others would have, or what the Majority Leader went through, so that those who go through the law practice training course at the universities, the accredited universities, can all write the national bar exam, which will be a standardized examination committee. It is true that this country has, as the Honourable Majority, citizen ratio is 4 lawyers. Here, it is 1 lawyer to oversupply of lawyers in this country. And so a system that will provide equality of opportunity for everyone who desires to be a lawyer, but at the same time maintain quality control, such that we'll be producing some of the report, the motion for the adoption of the bill, so that when it comes out and it is passed into law, it will be one that will stand the test of time. So, Mr. Speaker, I thank you very much for this opportunity, and I thank members for their participation.
Honourable members, at the conclusion of the debate, the question is as many as are in favor of the motion say aye. Those against say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. The motion is adopted.
An act to establish the Council for Legal Education and Training to regulate legal education in the country, provide the curriculum and standards for legal education, and provide for related matters.
Honourable members, the Legal Education Reform Bill 2025 is accordingly read a second time. Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I think we were scheduled to start at 12. So far as the records are concerned, it was 12. We were late, but it was 12. So technically, we've done 5 hours. So we're in your hands.
Honourable Majority Leader, I beg to differ. So you may move a motion for amendment, for adjournment.
Well,
So you move a motion for adjournment.
Mr. Speaker, I move that this House be adjourned to tomorrow, 12 in the noon.
Yes.
Speaker, I second the motion.
Honourable members, motion moved and seconded, and it is for the consideration of the House. As many as are in favor of the adjournment, motion for adjournment, say aye. Those against say no. Honourable members, this House is accordingly adjourned till Wednesday, 4th February 2026 at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, following the ayes having it.